Number two, your personal story and your personal style. I talked about this a bit in yesterday's masterclass when I told you that you can use AI to get you some drafts and some ideations, but it can't do the whole thing for you because it cannot put your personal style and your personal story into what it does for you. As I said before, AI will eventually advance to the point where it can, quote unquote, read your story and know your story and integrate it into the material that it creates for you. So, for example, if you've written a book, like a biography, I could take my book, Buy a Game, which is the only book of mine that's complete narrative. I could take my book, Work on Your Game, which has narrative in it, but it's not a narrative book. And I could feed those into some AI software. It will read the book, it will download all of my background information, and it can use that to spice it into material that it writes for me. That might already be available. I just don't, maybe I don't know about it. And it's coming. If it's not here already, that's absolutely coming. As a matter of fact, I'm going to check and see if it can do it today. I'm going to check right now, actually, because just in yesterday's episode, I was asking ChatGPT this question. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT right now if it can do this. Can you read my book and then use the stories about me and content that you write for me in the future? Okay, so I'm asking ChatGPT that question. So it says, ChatGPT's answer is, I cannot directly read or access books, but if you share specific stories or excerpts from your book, I can definitely use them to craft content for you. Feel free to provide any sections or details you want highlighted, and I'll incorporate them into future content for you. Okay, so in other words, it can't do it yet. But I guarantee you there's a time is coming when you can just go to AI, you can upload a file of your book or your story, or maybe this is a video of you telling your story. AI will read or watch it, quote unquote, and it will now have downloaded your story, and they can now use that in anything it creates for you in the future, referencing your own stories and your own examples from your mouth or from your pen that you already shared. I guarantee you that's coming. That I would say within the next, I'm recording this in 2024. I say I'm being conservative here. I'm not a big tech person. I'll say by 2030, definitely. It's probably gonna be faster than that. I'm being very, very what's the word? I'm giving a humble projection, but it's probably less than 2 years away that it can do something like that, because it shouldn't be that difficult. It just takes a lot of computing power for it to read and process an entire book. That takes a little bit more computing power than just coming up with random ideas out of nowhere. So your personal story, your personal style. AI will get to the point where we can do a lot of this stuff on your behalf, but right now it's not there. And again, the human touch that goes into you sharing your own thing, AI can't do that, and it will never be able to do that. Human beings are still human, and sometimes we want to hear from a human rather than hearing from a system, a computer, a chip, or an algorithm.